welcome back to episode 103 of Talkoffamepod podcast with your host, Kylie Montigney. And I'm so excited to have on Girl Life Facilitator, Luz Hernandez. Thank you so much for coming on.
Hi, Kylie. Thank you so much for inviting me. Thank you for reaching out and doing what you're doing as well. It's important for you to also use your voice and project your voice. So thank you for reaching out.
Absolutely. So you started girl empowerment workshops back in 2020 during the pandemic to empower girls in your community. Can you tell us more about the workshops and what they provide?
Yeah, so my workshops I create a safe space for the girls, for them to come and get empowerment tools. So I do this in a fun and creative way. So first I teach the mindset tools, which let me give you a little example. For the gratitude workshop, we learn about different ways that we can be grateful for the things that we have. So for the girls, it could be for their parents providing meals, providing food, for them having shelter. And then after we learn these tools and we find different ways that we can be grateful for, then we move on to the empowering craft. And this is like the favorite part of the girls because they get to create their own craft and take it home. So for the gratitude workshop, they create a beautiful gratitude jar where they get to decorate it from the outside with empowering words, pom-poms, glitter. Like I have all these stickers and things for them to put it on, and they just make it unique. And then with that craft, I tell them, well, let's create 2 gratitude notes where you see you could be grateful for today. And it could be anything. It could be the fresh air they breathe. It could be a tree that they enjoy being at. It could be their school. So there's always something that we can be grateful for if we're just aware of all these gifts that we have around us. Once they're done, they get to take that home. So that serves as a reminder for them to not only keep the tools like in the workshop, the day of the workshop, but they get to take it home and continue practicing the tools. That's what I love about these workshops. What I have added too is a nutrition portion. The girls get to create like a delicious, healthy snack, and they love it because we use vegetables and fruits. So I remind the girls that it's not only about nourishing their mind, but also their body, because we're connected. Mind and body are connected. So it's very important to take care of those 2 components of our whole being. And we created smoothies, avocado toast, like anything that has vegetables and fruits, I get to incorporate it in these workshops. So that's like a little behind the scenes of what the girls get to experience in my workshops. We touch a lot on social emotional topics like self-love, gratitude, kindness, resilience, what else? Feelings. Feelings are very important. So that's one that we talked about. And then with my teens, it's a body image. That's another big topic for my teens. That's usually how the workshops go and how they get to experience my workshops.
Yeah, how did you want to start the workshops in the first place? Were you always so passionate about girl empowerment, or is this kind of when the pandemic started, you kind of had some time and wanted to start workshops during the pandemic for young kids?
So I have actually 2 daughters. One is 13 and the other one is 16. And I've always been involved with arts and crafts, especially with their birthday parties. I always didn't want to just have like a simple party where the kids just come and just by themselves. I always had like empowering activities. It was hands-on. So that has been within me, I think, at a young age, just to be involved in the arts and crafts. But then when I came into the opportunity of this program, so I'm using the program from Girl Life. And this one was created by Melody Permorati, which has created such an amazing community of facilitators all around the world. And I love how she has created this sisterhood where we get to empower each other as well as support each other. So it was during the pandemic. It was when I had left my job a week before the lockdown, and I was just feeling anxious, feeling uncertain of what was gonna happen. I left my job and then I didn't know what to do. My plans were to go take a test, become a substitute teacher. And of course, that didn't work out because everything was on a shutdown. So I started going into Facebook and I came across Melody Permarati's group, The Business of Empowering Women. And I went into a masterclass. And after that, she of course offers her program. And I talked to my husband. I'm like, this is something that I want to do. Like I could empower our girls and then the girls in my community, like my daughter's friends. And that's how I started. I just did it. I invested in the program. And from then on, I took off. I mean, what motivates me and inspires me to continue doing this work is to see the girls' transformations in my workshops. It's blissful when I get a girl that is experiencing anxiety, depression, a lot of fears and doubts. And as we work through those things in each workshop, then she's blooming. She's doing amazing things. I have this girl that now she's traveling on her own. She went to Canada during the summer. And that wouldn't have been possible if she didn't have these mindset tools during the pandemic. Because that's when I started working with her, that she was very, very shy, very quiet, anxious, and anxiety was a big thing for her.
And like I'm sure like anxiety has like a big part of everyone in many ways. Like anxiety has impacted me my entire life, not as much as like I did when I was very young. Like when I was very young, I was so shy. I didn't speak to anyone, like kind of how she was. And now I'm like, as I grew older, I'm like, well, this is like my favorite part is talking. I don't know why my favorite part is talking. But like if people are interested in being in your workshops or kind of want to learn more about what you have to offer and stuff, where can they go sign up or where can they go contact you to learn more?
Yeah, so right now I'm in different social media platforms. I'm on Facebook, on Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok, and you can find me as Yes Girl Life at this moment. And send me a DM if you're interested in empowering your daughter with fun and empowering tools. That's the way that they can reach out to me.
And so, like, why is it like so important to empower young girls, especially in today's society? Because obviously, during the pandemic, it was so hard to empower girls in our generation, specifically mine, since no one couldn't leave their house and people like watching television couldn't see themselves as a person. Like, why is it kind of so important, in your opinion, to empower girls of our generation?
I think the pandemic had a big effect and a big toll on our girls and our youth in general, even us as adults,
Yeah.
right? But more in our youth, because all of a sudden everything shut down for them. They didn't have any more contact with their friends, no more birthday parties, no more going to school, no more soccer activities. The things that they enjoy doing, that were not available for them. So even for parents, it was hard to create that atmosphere, right? Because parents had to also work. So parents had to take care of those needs while the girls try to survive the Zoom and how to get their assignments and stuff. So this created a lot of uncertainty for our youth, for our girls. A lot of anxiety is still, I believe that anxiety and depression have been the biggest results after the pandemic.
Yeah.
And I also see it in a school setting. So many of the kids weren't able to express their feelings, or they actually just shut them down inside. And that actually doesn't help the girls, because it causes more, not only the anxiety, but then your whole body starts to react. Now your whole body, you're feeling maybe your temperature, you're feeling hot flashes, you're nervous, you're sweating hands. So then your body takes a toll based on your thoughts and how you're feeling. So it's very important to empower our girls in mindset tools, and especially to provide them these tools like breathing. When you're feeling anxious, use your breathing. when you are taking a test and you don't know, you're a little nervous about the outcome. Like your breath, I say your breath is your best friend. You can take it anywhere you want to go, anywhere you go, anywhere you want to be at, and you're experiencing that uncertainty. Just take a few deep breaths, and it's gonna help you get that oxygen into your brain. Another one is to meditate. So for the girls to have these tools at a young age, it's very empowering for them, because many of the times we reach out outside of ourselves for help, right? And of course, therapists are amazing, psychologists are amazing, but hey, if you have these tools within you and you know you can heal yourself at that moment, because if I'm experiencing anxiety or having a panic attack and I cannot reach my therapist at the moment, then I know that my breath and doing a meditation or a mantra is gonna make me feel safe. It's gonna make me feel at home. And what I tell the girls, everything you need is already inside of you. You just have to open up, explore a little bit. If the uncomfortable feelings come, it's okay. Just let them go by. Like pretend they're little clouds just passing by. That feeling is not gonna stay within you for a long time. But if you resist it, then that's gonna grow bigger and bigger, because what we resist persists and it comes out stronger. With feelings, it's very important to bring awareness to them, see them, get curious about them, and then just let them run its course. And they will, and use those inner tools. So, I mean, our girls need to be empowered and mind, body, and everything. I know many of the parents see a very high importance in sports and their kids doing performing arts, which are very important. But we also have to bring it back into, like, they just went through a pandemic. They just went through a big shift in their lives. Just check in with your daughter. Is she okay? Is she experiencing something different pre-pandemic than post-pandemic? You know, it's just a matter, and give her those tools. If you cannot give them those tools, reach out for help. Even with me, with my two daughters, and me doing these workshops, I have to reach out, because it's not the same as a mom telling my daughters and teaching them these tools. It's a different relationship of mother and daughter. That's why I also have to reach out to my community and the resources that I have, so they can empower my own daughters.
I love that. That's amazing. It's like if young girls are struggling to find their voice or kind of going through a difficult time in their mental health, especially during the pandemic, anyone, not just kids in our youth, but adults are struggling with their mental health. And that's something I struggle with when I was during the pandemic, especially since we were stuck at home and couldn't like see our friends and couldn't do things we're used to doing everyday life before the pandemic. Like if people are struggling to find their voice or kind of struggling mentally, what are some ways they can speak up and follow their voice and find some help?
So first of all, it's important to bring in awareness of what is it that they're feeling, and even the thoughts that they're having. So bring that awareness into their space, and then speak to an adult, someone that they feel comfortable with speaking and talking about how they're feeling. And then from there, just bring in the tools. And I always go back to doing breath work and the meditation, and even moving their body. It could shift your energy. It could shift your thoughts when you're moving your body, or maybe a little dance. That's another thing that I implement in my workshops with my youngest girls, to move themselves, to create that joy. Because many of the times as we get older, we get like very like serious, like life has to be full of responsibilities. And then we forget to tap into our creativity, our imagination, and our joy. So that's where the workshops get the girls to tap into that, which I call it's their genius zone, that zone where they just be themselves and they get a lot of insights due with their creativity. So the way they can use their voice is by bringing awareness to everything that's happening within themselves, doing the inner work on a daily basis. And what works for one girl, it's not going to work for another girl. So I always teach them different tools. So like that, they can take in what works for them. So a meditation can work for one girl, and journaling can work for another girl, or practicing gratitude daily can work for someone else. So like that, they also, it's like a self-discovery journey when they come to my workshops, because they are exploring and getting to know themselves in a deeper level. Like, what is it that they need at that moment? It might be a hug. It might be some words of encouragement. It might be just being by themselves, just reading a book quietly. So many of the times as a society, we're in the go, 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 like go here. And now that everything's open up, we're going back like 10,000 times, doing all these different activities now, because we want to fill up our schedule. And there is this limiting belief that if we don't have a full schedule, then we're not productive. So I tell the girls, you don't have to fill up your schedule. What I want you to do is take a pause. Take a pause, even if it's 5, 10, 15 minutes, where you just either sit still or go out to the nature if you have access to your backyard. Like, if you're in contact with nature, you're going to feel at peace. You're going to bring peace to yourself. And just take that pause. Like, it's okay to pause. It's okay to be aware of how we're feeling, our own breathing. How are we breathing? You know, because many of the times being on the go is not healthy for our mind. It's not healthy for our body either. Those are some of the tools how they can use their voice, express themselves. So it's important us as parents to also create that safe space at home, so they're able to express what they're feeling, express what they're going through, and then be at a place where there's no judgment, like a free judgment zones where they can feel safe, comfortable to be themselves.
And so, like, if moms are trying to find ways to empower their daughters, no matter like if they're like very young or this in their preteens, teens, or as it coming adults, what are some ways they can do that?
So I would say, as mothers, to first do their own inner work, to first empower themselves. And as they're doing their own inner work and empowerment, their daughters are gonna see and notice a change in them. So it's important for us as parent moms, because we always want to give our daughters everything that's good out there. And I understand that. But we as moms cannot get lost in motherhood. We also have to take care of ourselves, our needs, and our peace of mind. We cannot be running all the time, taking our girls to their activities or school. We also have to do our own inner work, because that's going to shift the whole family dynamic. When you start working on yourself and pouring into your cup, I mean, as moms, we always want to serve, we always want to give. And many of the times our cup gets empty and we just feel frustrated, overwhelmed, stressed. And that's not what we want to show our girls. We want to show them that self-care is important. Self-care, taking care of your mind, your body, your spirit. Because when you are balanced, when you are grounded as a mom, you're going to be able to serve your daughters more efficiently and in a kinder way. And I could see this within myself. I've seen the results. I mean, when I started doing my inner work, I was able to see the changes in my girls, the changes in my household. I created a more peaceful home because I knew I was grounded, because I knew if there were triggers that maybe my daughter said something or my husband, I knew the tools, what to do. Maybe go outside for a walk for 5 minutes, breathe, just reach into my toolkit and see what tool was going to help me at that time before
Mhm.
I exploded or I just. So we are the biggest role models for our girls. So we
Mhm.
have to show with an example. We have to be those role models that we show our girls how we could take care of ourselves and how we can also make mistakes, right? As
Mhm.
moms, because many of the times we expect our daughters to be perfect, to do everything, to get the good grades, to go to the sports and excel. And we also have to remember that it's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to not be on top all the time, you know, where you are,
Mhm.
as long as your mind is at peace and your whole body, that's the most important thing. I think a
Mhm.
well-being.
Yeah, what I totally agree with that. And like no matter if you are not doing sports or you're not doing like as many things as some other kids are, you still are worthy as most kids are. Like the most
Yeah.
important thing is that like you're happy and that you're taking care of yourself. Because it's okay to not be okay. Because
Mm-hmm.
everyone has their struggles, including me and you. Like me and you have our personal struggles that we go with basically every single day. And no matter, there's many resources we can do. If you're ready to kind of break down on something, there's many resources like meditating, walking, like you said. And like you said, like, even though people like me and you are on a Zoom call right now, like people probably think like, oh my God, we're so happy, but on this side, we don't know what people are going through when we're not on a screen and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that plays a big role on the girls to for them to know that it's okay if you're crying, if you're sad, it's okay if you're mad, but then how are you gonna react, right?
Mhm.
Especially with anger, it's a big, strong emotion. And if we
Mhm.
don't manage it, it could get out of hand. So in my last workshop, All Feelings Are Okay, we learned ways and tools on how to manage that anger, how to take it out in a proactive way. Because we also don't want our girls to keep anger inside of them because that also doesn't help them. They have to
Mhm.
express it, but in a proactive way. So first, I gave them some tools to calm their nervous system down. And then after they were calmed, they were able to talk about their feelings with their parents or let their parents know what was it, what triggered them, and
Mhm.
why did they get upset at the moment.
Mhm.
So it's just so wonderful when the girls are able to express their feelings and how they wanna, what kind of world they want to create for themselves.
Mhm.
It's empowering. I mean, my workshops, I say that I do girls empowerment workshops, but the girls empower me. Like it's
Mhm.
like a two-way street where I empower them and then they empower me back because I mean they're full of wisdom. It's just a matter to find that also self-love within themselves and the confidence
Yeah.
of trust that they also know and they can heal themselves as well.
And so, like, the final question I have for you is, like, what is some advice for people that want to empower girls or want to figure out a way to kind of do workshops or do whatever they need to do to kind of empower our community?
So first, I will say find your strengths, find your talents, see what you're good at, and then based on that, you can go out to your community and empower girls. So it could be maybe if you invest in a program such as Girl Life, or you invest in another program. I mean, but also it's very important for you as you're doing this, work on yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Because at the beginning, when I was leading my workshops, I started virtual workshops and I was able to feel the doubt, the fears, because I thought, oh, who am I to be doing these workshops? I'm not good enough. I don't even have the experience. That inner critic was hitting me so hard. Then I said, I need to work on myself. I need to invest in myself so I can show up for those girls authentically. And
Mm-hmm.
I did. I invested in a coaching program and I could see the difference. Now I show up confident, knowing that I am capable to share my gifts and empower the girls. and also my own community. So I
Mhm.
think those are the tools that we need to first work on ourselves, know what is it that we're good at, and then go out there and share that. Because I mean, each and every person is unique, and each and every person has amazing talents that we need in this world, that our girls are waiting for you to be empowered and to have that mentor in life. So
Mhm.
yes, go for it.
Yes, and so thank you so much for coming on the podcast. It was so great speaking with you, and you
Oh,
sister are amazing and doing such great things. And thank you so much for coming on again. We'll definitely keep in touch soon and keep up the good work.
thank you. Thank you, Kylie. Well, I just want to really acknowledge your work and what you're doing by using your voice at a young age, and also empowering other girls out there to go ahead and do a podcast or do something else that they're inspired to do.
Thank you so
It was
much.
fun.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. We'll keep in touch and speak soon. Thank you so much.
Awesome. You're welcome. Thank you.